Fox Sports welcomes you to Network Associates Coliseum in Oakland, California for this afternoon's matchup between the 7-4 Oakland Raiders and the 2-9 Washington Redskins. It rained all night long here in Oakland, and the rain continues to fall on this 58-degree afternoon. Wet field conditions for the Redskins and the Raiders, who are in the thick of the wild card race in the AFC, tied with Buffalo and Miami. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Fox NFL Sunday. Kenny Albert along with Tim Green. The Raiders won only 4 games a year ago. This season, 7-4 under first-year head coach John Gruden. And they've done it with backup Donald Hollis starting 5 of the last 6 games at quarterback for the injured Jeff George. And the big question, Tim, here in Oakland all week long, who would it be today?
Well, today it's going to be Jeff George, and that's got John Gruden smiling. One of the most innovative offensive minds. Gruden likes to stretch the field. Now, Gruden's always using golfing analogies, and in the spirit of that, he's been playing a par 5 with a 7-iron. Today, he gets to pull the driver out of the bag because Jeff George is back, and this guy has got a big arm. It's going to enable the Raiders to go downfield with great strength and great accuracy. Now, Jeff George tried to come back 3 weeks ago against the Baltimore Ravens. Then, after this hit, Jeff George re-injured that torn groin muscle, was knocked out of the game in the first series. Today, it's cold, it's wet, and that's the kind of thing that really aggravates that kind of a groin injury. Jeff George earlier today came out, tested it, he's ready to go. Now, the offensive line for the Raiders has got to pick up their pass protection. They're third worst in the NFL when it comes to protecting the quarterback. So they've got to shore up their pass protection to keep Jeff George safe. The Redskins know he's hurt. They're going to come after him. The other thing the Raiders have to do is run the ball a little bit better than they have over the last 4 weeks.
Now, on the other side, the Redskins started the season 0-7. Since then, 2-2, averaging 29 points per game.
And a lot of that is because quarterback Trent Green, who really has been kind of a journeyman, has picked up Norv Turner's offense in Washington. He's throwing with great accuracy, and he has not made mistakes. You see there, 7 touchdowns, only 1 interception. Redskins today think they can take advantage of a Raiders secondary that only has 1 original starter, Charles Woodson, since the beginning of the season.
Well, we'll try and stay dry today. Hope you do too. The Redskins and the Raiders from Oakland. And we'll have the opening kickoff for you in just a moment on Fox NFL Sunday. Back in Oakland, Kenny Albert along with Tim Green. Raiders lead the all-time series over the Redskins 7-2. The Redskins have won the coin toss. No controversy here today, although referee Ron Blum did ask Darrell Green for his call before he tossed the coin.
That's exactly what Chris Collinsworth said on the pregame show. He said, hey, they just need to make sure the call before they flip the coin.
Leo Aragus will kick it off for the 7-4 Raiders. Ryan Mitchell, James Thrash, the deep men for the Redskins. On a rainy day in Oakland, we are underway. Ryan Mitchell from the 3. Mitchell still on his feet. One man to beat, Aragus. And the kickoff man for the Raiders drags Mitchell down after a return of 57 yards.
That was a great tackle by a kicker to save a touchdown.
Leo Aragus, the Redskins punter. He also handles kickoffs. Mitchell brought one back a couple of weeks ago, 100 yards on the opening kickoff against Arizona, but it was called back due to a penalty.
The Redskins before this game were screaming in their huddle, we don't have respect.
And they start in terrific field position from the Raiders 40 on the first play of the game. Trent Green incomplete, looking for Michael Westbrook. He was out of bounds.
Yeah, but a beautiful play by Charles Woodson to hit him right as he caught the ball.
Trent Green making his 10th career start, 10th start of the season. He's 2-7. Terrific numbers over the last 4 games. The Redskins have won 2 of those 4. A shuffled offensive line. Badger now at left guard. Milstead is the right guard. Skip Hicks and Stephen Davis in the backfield. Westbrook and Shepard combined for 17 receptions last week in the loss to the Arizona Cardinals. Penalty markers, play action on 2nd down, and the pass complete to Michael Westbrook inside the Raiders' 20-yard line. A gain of 22. Albert Lewis made the stop.
The Redskins want to get Michael Westbrook involved early. Had a 100-yard game last week, really got involved with it, and that's how you get him started.
Offside. 96 defense. Penalties declined. First down, Washington.
That was Pat Swilling with the offside. But when you've got a player like Westbrook, whose mind is not always in the game, the way that you ensure that his mind is in the game is you get the ball to him early.
He caught a career-high 10 passes last week, including 3 TDs. First and 10 on the Raiders' 19. The tight end Jenkins in motion. Another play fake, and the pass complete. Stephen Davis inside the 5. Touchdown, Redskins.
Talk about a quick strike offense, a quick strike team. Brian Mitchell has a huge return. 3 pass plays later, the Redskins are in the end zone. It's just a play-action pass. Fake the handoff to Skip Hicks. Hicks gives Trent Green the protection he needs, and no one is even covering Stephen Davis.
Second touchdown reception of the season for Davis.
We talked about this Raiders secondary not being all together, a lot of injuries. Shows up that time with some missed assignments.
Gary Blanchard adds the extra point. Redskins trailed 31-0 last week. Today, they have the early lead.
NFL Sunday is brought to you by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of the Super Bowl.
Well, in 51 seconds, the Redskins have taken a 7-0 lead. The key play, the 57-yard kickoff return by Brian Mitchell, and now former Redskin Desmond Howard is back deep for the Raiders as Brett Conway kicks it off. And it bounces into the end zone. So the Raiders will start from their own 20-yard line as Jeff George makes his return. He started the first 5 games of the year, and then another one in Baltimore, but lasted only 1 series. And the crowd reacts as George leads the Raiders offense out onto the field. His second season here in Oakland after 5 in Indianapolis and 2 more in Atlanta. The men protecting Jeff George today. Kaufman, Ritchie in the backfield. James Yett with Tim Brown, and the tight end is Ricky Dudley. On first down, Napoleon Kaufman gains 4 yards. Derek Smith made the tackle. Redskins defense ranked 24th in the NFL, 28th against the run. A depleted front 4. Dana Stubblefield still out. Kenny with Brown, Big Daddy Wilkinson, and Kennard Lang. The linebackers, Smith, Patton, and Greg Jones replacing the injured Ken Harvey. In the secondary, Darrell Green, the 7-time Pro Bowler with Chris Dishman, Stanley Richard, Leamon Evans are the safeties. 2nd and 6, play fake, first pass of the game for George, and he cannot make the connection with the rookie fullback, John Ritchie.
Well, Kenny, right at the beginning of the game, I said that John Gruden was playing with a 7-iron, and that's not to disparage quarterback Don Hollis, but Hollis does not have Jeff George's arm strength. The thing that Jeff George doesn't have right now is the fluidity that Don Hollis had going 4-1. Jeff George needs to get his form back. He needs to get his rhythm back after missing so much in the last 2 months.
Hollis played the majority of the last 7 Raiders games. George on 3rd down, has the completion. James Yett, and he picks up the first down. A gain of 6. Sean Barber made the tackle.
Well, Kenny, this play starts out perfectly because this Raiders offensive line gives Jeff George great protection. Watch him here. They build a fortress here, and they give Jeff George a perfect throwing lane with which to throw that ball and get it down there for the first down. No one even came close to Jeff George.
Raiders last week lost to the Denver Broncos 40-14. They're 7-4 on the season, 4-1 here in Oakland. Napoleon Kaufman gains 2 yards on the first down carry before he was stopped by the middle linebacker Marcus Patton.
Kenny, the Raiders' run game has struggled over the last 4 weeks. A lot of it because Napoleon Kaufman hurt his ankle in the Seattle game. You see there, 23 carries, 30 yards in the last 2 games. He struggled because of that ankle injury. Now, the Raiders told us yesterday that his ankle's as good as it's going to get.
Second down and 8. Another play action pass. George fires downfield. And he overthrows the fullback, John Ritchie.
Yeah, because John Ritchie got himself wide open on that play. Raiders attacking Greg Jones, the replacement for Ken Harvey, and they attacked him well on that play. Ritchie was wide open. Again, Jeff George is going to have to get his rhythm back and his timing back.
Third down and 8. Raiders converted their first third down opportunity of this drive. They split it out with 3 wide receivers. George, under pressure, steps up, throws, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Terry Mickens, and the Raiders will punt it away.
Well, this is the thing that the Raiders do not want Jeff George to have to do, and that is get the pressure. Now, here it comes right around Mo Collins. So there's pressure coming from his left. He scrambles. He throws on the run, but he's moving pretty well. The thing you don't know with a torn groin muscle like that is, when is it going to go? It could go at any time on you.
The punt by Aragus, taken by Mitchell at the 33. Into Raiders territory. Another big return by Brian Mitchell at 20 yards. Return, Jermaine Williams made the stop. And once again, the Redskins start a drive in Raiders territory.
Get ready.
Nothing lead for the Redskins. Raiders allow the worst starting field position in the AFC. And the Redskins start this drive on the 48. The previous drive from the Raiders 40. As Green throws it across the field. Incomplete off the hands of Stephen Davis.
Well, one of the things the Redskins were most concerned with this Raiders defense was their upfield pass rush. It's an aggressive defense. It's modeled after Willie Shaw. He's the new defensive coordinator. He likes to let these big guys come upfield. So more times than not, they're going to be racing upfield at the snap of the ball than they are playing the run. You see Darrell Russell right there. He gets some pressure on Trent Green. And the screenplay is an attempt to diffuse some of that upfield motion.
Second and 10. First running play of the game for the Redskins. Stephen Davis to the Raiders 45. A gain of 3. Richard Harvey made the stop. Raiders were dead last defensively last year. 30th in the NFL. This season, they are second under new coordinator Willie Shaw. Second in the NFL behind San Diego. Johnstone and Russell have combined for 19 sacks. Beekert in the middle with Harvey and Terry Wooden. Charles Woodson, the Heisman Trophy winner out of Michigan. A revamped Raiders secondary. Anthony Newman out once again today. On third down, Green's pass complete for a first down to Leslie Shepard, a gain of 12 yards.
Kenny, Leslie Shepard is another Redskin who really seemed to come alive last week. He caught for over 100 yards in the losing effort against Arizona. But here, he just gets wide open against Perry Carter. Again, you see Trent Green with the great accuracy. The thing that Trent Green doesn't have is a real heavy, strong arm. You talked about Jeff George being a driver, and Trent Green is more like the 7-iron, more like a Donald Hollis.
Shepard in motion from the Raiders 33. Play fake. Green fires across the field once again, looking for Shepard. Charles Woodson on the coverage.
Well, Norv Turner told us yesterday that Charles Woodson is going to be one of the true great players. And you see the thing that's going to make him that right here is the speed. Look how fast he closes on Leslie Shepard to break up this play. I mean, Woodson is a guy with tremendous raw talent, and he's been mixed with some older guys like Allen and Albert Lewis who've really brought him along. They're going to develop that talent.
Skip Hicks, first carry of the game. The rookie out of UCLA works his way to the Raiders' 26-yard line. A gain of 7. Hicks has done a tremendous job for the injured Terry Allen.
Well, I think this thing that Skip Hicks has is he's got a great change of direction. He's going to start to play to the right, and then he bounces it back again. Again, against the Raiders' flow. This is a fast defense. It's built for speed, and the way you want to attack it on the run game, get it going one way, cut it back the other.
Raiders best in the league, third down defense. Redskins already converted earlier this drive. 3rd and 4 with the play clock winding down. Redskins tried to call timeout. The penalty marker was thrown as well. Did they call the timeout before the play clock hit 0? Yes, Ron Blum says timeout Washington.
Prior to the delay of game penalty, 86 offense called timeout. First charge, team timeout.
Well, Kenny had talked about Michael Westbrook having to have his head into the game. We saw him get 2 passes thrown his way. It's not Trent Green who called the timeout on this play. Trent Green was oblivious to the play clock. It was one of the wide receivers, Michael Westbrook. In Oakland, where the Redskins have gone on the board early. Now here, Leslie Shepard and Michael Westbrook both calling timeout. So great heads up by the receivers to give the Redskins a better chance on 3rd down.
3rd down and 4. The handoff to Brian Mitchell. And he picks up the first down for the Redskins, now 2 for 2 on 3rd down against the best 3rd down defense in the NFL.
And I'll tell you, Kenny, Trent Green has been doing such a good job with the play action that he's really diffused that Raiders defense. Here, he gives the handoff, but on other previous plays, he's faked the handoff and going to the passing game. So the Redskins doing a great job setting up their running game with the pass.
First down from the Raiders' 20-yard line. As Green dumps it off, this is Brian Mitchell. Spins to the Raiders' 15. Richard Harvey made the stop after a pickup of 5 yards.
Well, Norm Turner told us yesterday one of the things you want to do against, again, an aggressive pass rush is to run a screen. So what these linemen do here, they let their guys through, they get out there. Go ahead, go get the quarterback. Here we are, we're out here. They form the wall to block for Brian Mitchell. It's a nice play because it picked up 5 yards. It's also a nice play because it gets these guys here thinking about what they're supposed to be doing. Is it run? Is it pass? Right now, they don't know.
8th play of the drive, 2nd and 5. Skip Hicks, tried to cut it outside, and then slipped on the wet grass.
James Harris leading the tacklers for the Raiders.
Okay, so far this Redskins offensive line has really done a nice job. And this is a group, you talk about injuries to the Raiders secondary. This is a group that's been shuffled like a deck of cards in Las Vegas. Guys moving all around. 2 of their guys, Trey Johnson, who's their best offensive lineman, out last week, out for the season with a knee injury. Troy Drake, who was starting at right tackle, he's out. And Joe Patton, who's playing at left tackle, is really a guy who's batted.
3 wideouts, 3rd and 6. Quick drop. Green looks far side, has the completion, and a first down as Westbrook used his strength to force Woodson out of the way.
Boy, talk about making great decisions. I said at the beginning, Trent Green knows this offense. Watch him. Watch him look to his left. He goes primary, secondary. All of a sudden, zip. He gets the ball out to his 3rd receiver in this offense. Trent Green is a guy who makes great decisions.
And the Redskins now 3 of 3 on 3rd down. First and goal from the Raiders 9. Play fake to Skip Hicks. The pass is caught by the tight end, Steven Alexander. He fumbles, and it's recovered by the Raiders. Louis Riddick recovers the fumble by Steven Alexander.
That's what they do. Raiders outstanding defense this year in the turnover category. Now Steven Alexander makes a great effort on this play. Here he is, 80 right here. Watch him. He turns out, the ball's delivered, and look, he's just battling for the end zone. He's fighting, but Greg Beekert does a great job of pulling that ball out of there, ripping it out, and Riddick does a nice job of getting on top of it before it rolls out of the end zone. Look at that. Great strip. That's the perfect strip. Two guys stand him up, and if you're the third guy to the pile, if you're Beekert, that's what you do. You go for the ball.
'28th takeaway by the Raiders, which leads the AFC.
Pat Swilling being helped off the field. You know, normally that kind of play by Steven Alexander, the fumble, would really deflate the Redskins. But hey, they're already up 7-0. You know, most games this season, this Redskin team got adversity so fast and so furious in their face that they drop back and they kind of have that here we go again attitude.
Raiders start from their own 20-yard line. And a penalty marker as Kaufman gains 2 yards.
Yeah, and Kennard Lang just gets a hold of Kaufman's face mask.
And that is the call from the referee, Ron Blum.
Personal foul, face mask, number 90 defense. 15 yards from the end of the run, first down.
Well, this is a defense that struggled all year stopping the run, and Kennard Lang controls Dudley, the tight end, and he just comes in, and there it is right there. He clearly gets his hand on that face mask and twists the head in the process.
So it leads to a first down from the 38-yard line. Raiders with 3 wide receivers. And the pass is complete. Tim Brown into Redskins territory. Finally dragged out by Greg Jones after a 13-yard gain.
Well, I'll tell you one thing you don't want to do is you don't want to have Tim Brown being covered by a linebacker. Jeff George looks, he reads, he says, all right, here's the zone. Tim Brown sitting up short in the zone. That means the linebacker's on him, and I can throw without any concern at all. See, as soon as he reads that zone, just zips that ball out there to Tim Brown.
Jeff George now 2 of 5. Napoleon Kaufman gains 2 down to the Redskins 48-yard line. Derek Smith made the tackle.
You know, the Redskins are doing a pretty good job right now defensively of shutting down the Raiders' run game. You know, they're playing it pretty well, and they stopped it that last time with just a 7-man front.
They allowed 188 rushing yards last week in the loss to the Arizona Cardinals. Second down and 7. Kaufman, hit hole, first down, and more. Stanley Richard made the stop. A gain of 9 to the Redskins 38-yard line.
Well, Marcus Patton, who's at the center of this Redskins defense, is so busy making adjustments that he doesn't get position on this run play. You see him? He's down there. He's moving guys around. They don't know where they're going, and so he does not get the angle on the run play. Derek Graham blocks him out of the play, and the Raiders get a first down.
Tim Brown in motion. George throws, and it's complete. Another Raider first down. Tim Brown. A 14-yard pickup to the Redskins 24.
Well, that play there is just Tim Brown out-competing Chris Dishman. And North Turner told us yesterday that Dishman was going to spend a lot of his time trying to cover Tim Brown. They're both physically able players. They're about on the same level. It's just who's going to want it more today.
Kaufman. Napoleon Kaufman into the end zone. Touchdown, Raiders.
Napoleon Kaufman, if anyone doubted whether or not he's got the moves, watch the cut. Look at the quick cut. Left, right, and he burns the whole Redskins secondary in the process. Look, here comes the play. Here comes the secondary. Dishman, Stanley Richards, all of them left holding their socks.
Greg Davis adds the extra point. 23-yard touchdown run by Napoleon Kaufman, his second touchdown of the season.
Okay, I'm ready when you are.
Good.
Wise. Did he forget his line or what? Is this the regular one or is he the understudy? Is this... Yeah, thank you. Hey, you gotta wait for me. Hold it, not you. He goes, then I... Wait a second, not you. Hold it. Why? Why? I can't work in this environment. Cut! Cut!
French! Budweiser. Now's the perfect time to enjoy a fresh, cold, Beechwood-aged Budweiser. By First Union, your guide to the financial world. And by Burger King. If you ask us, it just tastes better.
Back in Oakland, Kenny Albert with Tim Green, Redskins and the Raiders tied at 7. Just over 4 minutes remaining. First quarter. Leo Aragoose kicks it off for the Raiders. Brian Mitchell returned the previous kickoff, 57 yards. And he takes this one out across the 20 to the 24. A penalty marker. Penalty marker on the play. Mike Morton made the stop. A 19-yard return by Mitchell.
Kenny, the Raiders did an outstanding job of taking Steven Alexander, the Redskins tight end's fumble, and turning that marching right back downfield 80 yards for a touchdown. Jeff George was perfect on that drive, too. 2 for 2, 27 yards in the air.
The player slipped down. There was no hold. Timeout.
And Napoleon Kaufman had 4 runs for 38 yards.
No penalty on the play. Redskins to the offense when we return. Redskins start from their own 24. Play action pass complete. Steven Davis for the Redskins first down. And a gain of 13 yards.
Well, I'll tell you right now that the Raiders defense did not plan for Steven Davis to be such a big part of this Redskins offense. But he is. They are going to have to adjust to it. They are going to have to shift their focus to this guy on the play-action passes.
Davis had only 9 receptions coming into the game, 2 here in the first quarter. Alexander in motion. Green over the top, incomplete. He was looking for the tight end, James Jenkins.
Kenny, this Redskins offensive line is doing a super job right now of protection. Because look at Trent Green. He only takes about a 2-step drop. 2-step drop, and no one is even close to him. So right now, this battered, banged up, cobbled together bunch of hogs are diffusing one of the most powerful parts of the Raiders defense, their pass rush. On 2nd and 10, Skip Hicks bottled up after a short gain. He picked up 2 yards. Richard Harvey made the tackle. And this here is an example. You talk about what does Willie Shaw bring to this Raiders defense, and here's the aggressiveness. Watch the linebackers and watch them shoot right into the line of scrimmage. See that right there? Richard Harvey shoots right in, makes a tackle behind the line of scrimmage. That's Willie Shaw's aggressive, penetrating defense.
Washington 3 for 3 today on third down. 3rd and 8 from the 39. The play fake to Brian Mitchell. Green under pressure. The pass deflected and then caught by Albert Connell. But he stopped about 6 yards shy of the first down marker. James Harris deflected the pass. And now the Redskins will be forced to punt.
Well, here's the screen pass. They're coming at him. This time the Raiders have got it all bottled up. There they go for the run. The pressure on Trent Green is instant by James Harris. And his tipping the ball doesn't allow Connell to get downfield behind his blockers soon enough.
Dan Turk, a long-time Raider, snapping it back to his brother Matt. Former Redskins, Desmond Howard. Lets it go, and it rolls out of bounds inside the 25-yard line. A 37-yard punt by Turk. Well, nearly 15 years ago, these teams met in Tampa in Super Bowl 18. Joe Theismann back to pass. It's picked off by Jack Squirett. And the Raiders were on their way. Marcus Allen then buried the Redskins with a Super Bowl record 74-yard run as the Raiders prevailed 38-9, giving them their 3rd Super Bowl victory in an 8-year stretch. And Darrell Green, Redskins quarterback, played in that game back in January of 1984. Napoleon Kaufman. Another big run for Kaufman. Forced out of bounds by guess who? Darrell Green. A gain of 55 yards.
Darrell Green was the only guy in the Redskins team with the speed to catch Kaufman as he shoots downfield. Right now, the Raiders' interior offensive line are just chewing up the Redskins' defense. They're eating them alive. They're spitting them out. Look at Jeff George sees. He saw Leamon Evans, the strong safety, was split out wide. Sees a 7-man front. Says, hey, my guy's up front. Look at that hole. I mean, that's great blocking there by Barrett Robbins, the center, Derek Graham, and Steve Wisniewski. They are just chewing these guys up and spitting them out.
George fires. And it's incomplete. The intended receiver, the tight end, Ricky Dudley. Greg Jones along with Stanley Richard on the coverage.
And you see Jeff George's frustration because Ricky Dudley has all the talent of any tight end in the world. I mean, he is so big and so fast, but he'll kill you because a lot of times you'll deliver the ball to him and he'll just flat drop it as he did on that last play. Inexplicably drop it.
2nd and 10 from the Redskins 21. Harvey Williams upended by Sean Farber, the 4th-round draft pick, rookie out of Richmond.
Well, it's a nice play by Barber. He just beats Williams to the corner here. It's just a foot race now, and Barber beats him, gets his ankles, wraps him up, and brings him down.
Harvey Williams in the backfield along with John Ritchie. Napoleon Kaufman, 98 rushing yards here in the first quarter. Penalty markers on 3rd and 10.
Big Daddy was part of that onslaught there. He's pointing to one of the offensive guys saying he moved. I don't think so.
It is against the Redskins.
Approachment 95 defense. 5 yards. Repeat 3rd down.
Well, Jeff George knows these guys are coming out. Watch Jeff George's head. Little inflection there to draw the big guys off sides.
So it sets up a 3rd and 5. From the Redskins, 16 with a half minute remaining, first quarter. pass is caught, but a terrific play to stop Harvey Williams, and the Redskins recover. So both teams have lost a fumble in the red zone.
This is where the Raiders have struggled all season long. They have struggled in the red zone, and they do it again. You know, it's a nice protection, the offensive line. Look at, I mean, Jeff George has all the time in the world. He throws a little dump-off pass, and Sean Barber just comes up and strips Harvey Williams as he tackles him. And then look how he holds on to him. And that is really smart football by Sean Barber. When you strip the guy and that ball's loose, he's the first guy that can get to it. So if you hang on to his waist, as Barber did, Redskins come up with the ball.
Skip Hicks again lost his footing on what should be the final play of the first quarter. Ryan Mitchell returned the opening kickoff 57 yards, setting up the Redskins touchdown. And then the fumble by Washington tight end Steven Alexander led to Napoleon Kaufman's 23-yard touchdown run. Tied at 7. Fox NFL Sunday continues after this, and a word from your local Fox station. In Oakland, one quarter complete. Redskins and the Raiders tied at 7. Kenny Albert along with Tim Green, and we talked about the struggles of the Redskins run defense, and that was the case in the first quarter.
Yeah, Napoleon Kaufman, 7 carries, 98 yards already. The Redskins are going to have to figure out how to shut that run game down if they're going to want to have a chance to win this football game.
Redskins from deep in their own territory, and Green's pass incomplete, intended for Michael Westbrook. Charles Woodson on the coverage.
You know, that's one of those plays that Michael Westbrook needs to make. Now, he had a big game last week, and then he came out on a radio show and said, hey, I need to be getting the ball my way. I'm the big time now. If you're big time, you got to make this. Because, look, this guy is a physically talented, big-body guy. I know the pass is high, but, hey, you're strong. You've got great leaping ability. Leap up and bring that ball down.
Westbrook with 2 passes in the first quarter. 3rd down and 12. Green steps up, throws, deflected, and nearly picked off. Brady Jackson with a good effort, but could not get to it, and the Redskins will punt.
You know, Darrell Russell is a second-year player here, and he gets double-teamed here on this pass rush. There he is right there, and he does the next best thing. He uses his athleticism to jump up and knock that ball down.
That's the second pass Green has had deflected today.
Darrell Russell's a 320-pound man who's leaping around out there like a basketball player.
Matt Kirk's punt hits a Raider, and it looks like the Redskins have got it.
They do.
It's deflected off the back of Bucky Brooks, who was signed recently from the Kansas City Chiefs. He was running downfield, and it hit Brooks, number 33, in the back.
It should be a flag for an illegal touching, and it should be the Redskins' ball.
Turner awaiting the result of the officials' conference.
Player in the arm. White recovered the ball. Washington recovered the ball. 1st down, Washington.
So a special teams miscue by the Raiders. Bucky Brooks had the punt hit him in the back, and the Redskins recovered.
L Sunday is brought to you by Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Dr. Pepper, this is the taste. By Nike. By Gateway. Let's talk about your Gateway. And by Citizen. Today more than ever, Citizen is how the world tells time.
First and 10 for the Redskins.
Following the miscue by the Raiders, the punt hit off the back of Bucky Brooks. Redskins start for the 3rd time in terrific field position from their own 49. Skip Hicks down the sideline, forced out of bounds. by Louis Riddick, but he may have stepped out of bounds.
Well, he still got the first down. It's still a great run play for the Redskins.
14 yards.
Yeah, and it was some outstanding blocking up front. Watch these guys. They all pull. Stephen Davis does a great job of getting a lead block and giving Skip Hicks the corner there, and then Hicks bursts up the sideline.
To give you 14 yards on the play, first down, Washington.
Stepped out after he gained 14, setting up 1st and 10 on the Raiders' 37. Two tight ends set for the Redskins. Play action fake to Skip Hicks. Green fires downfield, and he overthrows Leslie Shepard.
Let me tell you, I know they're going right at Woodson on this one with a double move, an out and up, and Leslie Shepard is not the guy to try to take advantage of Charles Woodson. Woodson has too much speed. I know he's a rookie. Look, watch the out move and then up. He goes out, there's a pump fake, and then he out. But look at Woodson close on this thing. I mean, Woodson is ahead of Leslie Shepard.
You posed the question to Charles yesterday, who's the fastest guy on the Raiders? He said on Sundays, I am.
That's right. He loved when I asked him about comparing him to Deion Sanders. He got a big grin on his face then.
From the 37 for the third time today, Skip Hicks slips on the wet turf.
You know, you got to go to the sideline and you got to get the 7/8-inch cleats. I mean, come on. You should have done that at the break at the quarter.
Now Hicks heads to the sideline.
Yeah. And I got to believe, look, or they watch. They'll say, hey, what's going on with your cleats? And he's saying, hey, they're as long as they could be. I don't know. You better find some longer ones or do what Howie Long used to do. Come up with the baseball spikes.
Third down and 9. 3 wide receivers. Green in trouble, taken down. Lance Johnstone with his 11th sack of the season. Johnstone now with a sack in 8 consecutive games.
Well, Sharp Pordonis told us yesterday, I've been a left tackle all my life. I'm not comfortable setting up at the right tackle position here, and Lance Johnstone just takes advantage of that, brings him upfield, comes under. Now you see why Johnstone has got 11 sacks on the season.
A loss of 6 yards on the play.
Desmond Howard back deep. Bucky Brooks is out on the punt return team. And this one bounces into the end zone. Redskins could not save it. 42-yard punt by Turk. Raiders to the offense. When we return, tied at 7.
Hicks on the Redskins sideline, getting his cleats changed, as I said he should. Look at that there. Look at the size of those cleats on this shoe, and they've emptied this one out. And there's Skip Hicks right there saying, well, it's not my fault. Well, it's true because he's a rookie.
It's happened 3 times. Raiders from their own 20-yard line, and Napoleon Kaufman is over the 100-yard mark for the 4th time this season.
Yeah, well, I mean, we talked about what he did in the first 7 games, and the guy was spectacular. And then over the last 4 games since he's hurt his ankle, he really faded away. And sometimes, and it's really amazing, but a guy can get healthy during a season. I'll tell you what, right now, Napoleon Kaufman is healthy again.
103 yards today for Kaufman in just over 1 quarter of play. Kaufman adding to those numbers.
I'll tell you what. I mean, Raiders get a first down on this. But watch Derek Smith set the tempo. Watch him and John Ritchie. Wham! I mean, he blows John Ritchie up. You know, Kaufman picks up the first down because he runs past Kelvin Kinney. I'll tell you right now, Derek Smith just made a statement that the Redskins have come here to play this one.
First down from the 36-yard line, Harvey Williams. Up to the 39. A gain of 3. Kelvin Kinney made the stop. 13th career 100-yard rushing game for Napoleon Kaufman. 4th this season.
And again, he has that cutting ability back. because when we've seen his big runs today, Kenny, he put that move on at the line, and then he puts another move on about at the linebacker depth, and he's left the Redskins secondary, as I said, holding their socks.
Second down and 6, 3 wideouts. And George calls timeout with the play clock winding down. Jeff George uses the first Raiders timeout. We'll return in just a moment.
Defensive coordinator for the Washington Redskins with a scowl on his face because so far his unit has not been able to slow down Napoleon Kaufman.
Mike Nolan returning to the Bay Area. His father, Dick, was the head coach of the 49ers.
I think what he wants to do is bring his strong safety up and build an 8-man front. But he's too afraid of Jeff George's arm to do that consistently.
Second down and 6. Kaufman looks to cut it back inside. But Derek Smith was right there.
Yeah, that's nice play up front by that Redskins front seven. You know, defensively, they string this thing out, and you'll see they really give Napoleon Kaufman nowhere to run. They take the corner away, they force him back to the inside, and there's the backside pursuit. Derek Smith. Told you that guy came to play.
Third down and 8. 3 wide receivers. George can't find anyone. Now throws, and it's short. It's headed for Tim Brown. Stanley Richard on the coverage.
Well, the Redskins on that play used an inside twist, something that's given the Raiders' offensive line trouble this season. Get some movement up front, and they really just made Jeff George go out of that pocket to throw it.
Brian Mitchell with a 20-yard punt return earlier. He also returned the kickoff 57 yards. And he fields this punt at the 30-yard line. Fair catch. After the 32-yard punt by Aragus and a penalty marker on the play. It's against the Raiders.
Number 50 of the kicking team was illegally downfield. That penalty is declined. First down, Washington.
Mike Morton, the guilty party. Raiders coming into the game, third most penalized team in the National Football League. Next week on Fox NFL Sunday, Fox. Arizona now 6-6 in the wild card hunt in the NFC. 9.2 penalties per game. First down for the Redskins from the 30. Some trickery. The end around to Michael Westbrook. Trent Green leading the way. Throws a block. And Westbrook picks up the first down. A gain of 11 on his first carry of the season.
Well, this is the perfect play to run against a run blitz. Watch Richard Harvey shoot up through the line of scrimmage here. And if he can't stop this play in the backfield, nobody can. Because the linebackers are out of position because of the penetration. And then you see Trent Green with a nice block on Louis Riddick downfield. The one thing the Redskins always say when they talk about Trent Green, they talk about his toughness.
First down from the 41. Play action pass complete. Stephen Davis, his third reception of the game. He had only 9 on the season coming in.
Yeah, but did you see who was right on him? Louis Riddick, the strong safety. So the Raiders on the sideline basically said, all right, 48 is a big part of the game plan. And there you see the guy, Albert Lewis, saying, all right, Riddick, that's just what we said to do in the huddle. When they run this play action, you're the strong safety. You get up there on 48 and cover it. Riddick did.
Riddick starting once again for the injured Anthony Newman. Inactive due to the ankle and toe injuries. 2nd and 7. And brief pass short intended for Westbrook.
Raiders come with the blitz here. Watch Beaker come right up the center. They open it up. Corey Raymer blocks him up, though. It does give Trent Green the time that he needs. It's just a bad pass.
Greg Biekert, one of the keys to this Raiders defense under coordinator Willie Shaw.
I like what Willie Shaw did, keeping him out there all the time on third downs as well in the nickel defense.
Third down right here, 3rd and 7. Green under pressure, and he is taken down.
That's a great play by Richard Harvey. Great play. Man, I love that. That is so smart. So smart by Richard Harvey. Watch what he does. He comes right up through the center, and then Trent Green is racing out in front of him. Watch him just clip his ankles. That is so smart. He says, the only chance I've got is to go down low and clip his ankles, and he does. Great defensive play.
Harvey's 3rd sack of the year. The former New Orleans Saint. And Kirk from his own 30. Desmond Howard backs up all the way to the 8-yard line and is taken down by Darrell Pounds, limiting Howard to a 2-yard return following the 54-yard punt by Turk.
Back in Oakland where the score is tied, you know, the Raiders' run game is working. 115 yards on the ground, and when it's working, you can bet that a lot of the reason it's working is because of this guy right here, Steve Wisniewski. This guy is tough, he's quick, and he plays the game with some real nastiness.
They took the 6 Pro Bowls. Penalty markers on 1st down.
When Derek Smith was on Jeff George, I mean, instantly. I think it's going to be a neutral zone infraction by one of the Redskins defensive linemen. I like what Mike Nolan's doing. I mean, you got to get some heat.
95 defense, 5 yards.
Yeah, you got to get some heat on Jeff George. I mean, go after him. You know, the guy is hurt, and you might as well attack him. That's what they were doing on that play. Of course, Wilkinson jumped the gun.
Following the penalty, 1st and 5.
George suffered that torn groin muscle back in September, starting for only the 2nd time in the last 7 Raiders games. Donald Hollis went 4-1 as the starter. George 3-3 in the games he started. Napoleon Kaufman stopped by Kennard Lang after a gain of 4 yards.
Well, the thing that I admire about what the Raiders have done this game is they've stayed with the run. They've got 13 runs right now and only 9 passes. And that's why Kaufman has been able to spring the big ones. They started out slow, but you have to stick with it to get the big ones.
2nd down and 1. George to the air and has the completion of tight end Ricky Dudley to the 38-yard line. Derek Smith finally made the stop. A gain of 19. Dudley leading all tight ends in the NFL, averaging 17 yards per reception.
A great physical player. I'll tell you what, the Redskins blitz Jeff George on this play, and he makes them pay. This is what you have to do as a quarterback. Watch, George gets the instant heat there. He gets hammered, but as long as you can burn the blitz, you're going to force that other team not to blitz you.
1st down for the Raiders from the 38. Kaufman comes to the outside, a penalty marker, as Napoleon gained 3 to the 41-yard line. But it's against the Raiders.
I tell you, I mean, this Raiders offensive line is coming off the ball. I mean, they looked like a tidal wave on that last play.
40 offense, 10 yards, repeat 1st down.
That's John Ritchie, the rookie fullback. I mean, he's having a big battle today with Derek Smith. You know, watch these guys. I mean, watch the wall. I mean, one guy shoots through it, Kennard Lang, but the rest of them are just, I mean, they just shoved the Redskins back about 3 yards on that last play. They moved the line of scrimmage.
Following the penalty, 1st and 20 from the 28-yard line. 3 wide receivers as George throws the pocket and picked off by Sean Barber, his 1st career interception.
And then we got a stupid fight back where the quarterback was. That flag is going to go against Andy Kalu.
But it came after the interception.
Yeah, so the interception's still going to count, but they're going to lose 15 yards because of it.
Sportsmanlike conduct, 72 offense, and 79 defense. Those penalties offset.
72 defense, Andy Kalu, and 79 offense, Mo Collins. Now, I'm glad that the official called both of them, because I saw Mo Collins give Kalu a shot, but then I saw Kalu take a outright swing at Collins. Typically, the official will call it on the last guy to throw the punch.
But Sean Barber comes up with the interception, only the 7th pick by the Redskins defense this season in 12 games.
For the Redskins at the 44-yard line.
And the Redskins, for the 3rd time in this first half, start a drive in Raiders territory from the Oakland 45. Skip Hicks with his new cleats.
Well, Kenny, we were talking about the unsportsmanlike penalties, and everybody's been talking about the officiating in the league. You're going to see on this play that Sean Barber, in fact, does not catch this ball. Look at that. The ball bounces off the grass. So the Redskins are the beneficiaries. Watch it right here of a bad call. Look at that right there.
Absolutely.
Traps it on the grass. He did a nice job of covering it up as quick as he could.
Could not have been a turnover. Trent Green on 2nd down, swings it out, incomplete. He was looking for Skip Hicks.
Pressure on the quarterback.
Yeah, what the Raiders are doing now is they're coming after Trent Green with their inside linebackers. We saw Richard Harvey get Trent Green on the last series. This time it's Greg Beaker, who's right in Trent Green's face instantly.
Redskins had been 3 of 3 on 3rd downs. They are now 0 for their last 4.
Yeah, and that's because of the heat they're putting on Trent Green. Trent Green is a guy who, with time, will find the receiver and deliver the ball. You want to harass him.
3 wideouts. Green airing it out. And the catch is made on the deflection for a touchdown to Leslie Shepard.
Unbelievable concentration by Leslie Shepard. I mean, even North Turner's smiling. At 2-9, he's smiling.
It's deflected off former Redskin Marquise Walker.
I mean, it's a bad throw. He doesn't have the defender beat. Look, Marquise Walker's got the coverage. Look at that. It bounces right off Marquise Walker's shoulder pads, and Leslie Shepard keeps his eyes on the ball and pulls it in. Look at this. Terrible throw. Great coverage. But Marquise Walker's hands are no good. It bounces off of his chest right into Leslie Shepard's arm.
His 6th touchdown of the season. Gary Blanchard adds the extra point. You talk about things going the Redskins' way. It should not have been an interception.
Right.
And then the touchdown pass bounces off the defensive back, Marquise Walker.
In a season of bad luck, the Redskins have somehow come up with a rabbit's foot. Or a whole team's worth of rabbit's feet.
So a 43-yard touchdown pass from Trent Green to Leslie Shepard. Green's 2nd TD strike of the day. Well, on Tuesday, don't miss the hunting trip Tuesday.
No, I cannot do that.
How many straws can you fit in your mouth?
I've only ever tried 2. I mean, Leslie Shepard with those numbers, that's unbelievable. I mean, how good was Marquise Walker's coverage? How bad was the pass? I mean, Trent Green put it right into Marquise Walker's arms. Leslie Shepard didn't have him beat. I mean, Walker was 2 yards over the top of him, but the Redskins come up with a touchdown. You know, one thing about this Raiders team, and it's been the difference between this season and last season, is their belief that they can win, especially in close games. They're 5-1 this season in close games, and John Gruden has brought that attitude of winning to the Raiders.
John Gruden breaking the season up into 4 four-game segments. The Raiders went 2-2 in the first quarter, then 4-0. now 1-2 in the third quarter, and they are 5-1, as you said, in games decided by 3 points or less.
But as we said coming into this game, hey, the Redskins with Trent Green have been putting points up on the board, and despite their record, I mean, they want to win this game. That's kind of obvious.
Conway's kickoff, taken by Desmond Howard from the 2. Out across the 20 to the 25-yard line, a 23-yard return by Howard. Jamel Williams made the stop.
Kenny, I go back to what I said right at the beginning of the game. Remember when the Redskins were all huddled up in the end zone? I mean, all 53 guys are all jammed together. And we had an audio guy down there, and the thing that we heard was, well, we heard some expletives, but we also heard that...
We deleted those.
Yeah, but they don't respect us. They don't respect us. And these guys came out fired up, and they've been playing fired up football ever since.
This is the Raiders' 6th offensive possession. It's their best starting field position from their own 25. As Napoleon Kaufman works his way ahead for 7 yards. Kennard Lang made the tackle.
Yeah, Kennard Lang made the tackle, but he's got to make that tackle sooner on the line of scrimmage. Because what Napoleon Kaufman is doing is he's cutting the ball back. And if you're going to cut the ball back, the defensive end, either Kennard Lang going one way or Kelvin Kinney the other, those guys have got to work downfield and stop that cutback at the line of scrimmage.
Terry Mickens in motion. On 2nd and 4, Kaufman is forced back by the combination of Lang and Mark Boutte, returning after missing the last 2 games with an ankle injury.
Well, I'll tell you, this thing starts out with Derek Smith. Watch him win the battle at the line of scrimmage. Watch him blow up John Ritchie. Bam! Knocks Ritchie backwards, and then there's Boutte, and then there's the guy, Kennard Lang, with that cutback. He's right there where he had to be.
Lang in his 2nd season out of the University of Miami, forcing a 3rd down and 4 for the Raiders. 3 wide receivers. They trail the Redskins 14-7. Quick drop and a quick slant off the hand of Mickens. Darrell Pounds on the coverage.
And that's just a symptom of a quarterback whose timing with his receivers off. Just a quick slant pass here. So Mickens makes a break to the outside and breaks back to the inside, and it's just bad timing. Just bad timing between the two of them.
Brian Mitchell in single safety back at his own 30-yard line. Will Aragus punts it away. End over end. Mitchell from the 29. Runs it to a couple of his own men, then cuts to the outside. Into Raiders territory. And again, it's Aragus coming up with the stop.
Oh, man, he stopped him, but Mitchell punished him on that one, didn't he? Look at the smile on Mitchell's face. He's saying, go ahead, send the kicker at me every time.
A 45-yard punt return by Brian Mitchell.
I think he hurt Aragus. Watch it. Look at it, just the relentlessness of Mitchell. Gives Kenny Shedd a stiff arm. Outruns Derek Brown, gets the corner. Watch him punish Aragus. Watch this. Wham. Aragus had to be helped off. You know, Aragus made a nice tackle, remember, to save Mitchell from returning the first kickoff, first play of the game. I'm sure Brian Mitchell remembered that and said, here, I'm going to give you a little.
And Tim, for the 4th time today, the Redskins start in Raiders territory. They've scored 2 touchdowns on the previous 3 possessions. Green to Stephen Davis, his 4th catch of the game. Davis finally taken down after a gain of 12 yards to the Raiders' 12-yard line.
Well, that time they got some blockers out in front of Stephen Davis on that screen play. Well, I'll tell you, Kenny, the guy that's really having a big impact on this game is Brian Mitchell. I mean, returning, running. This guy has got 171 total yards. 7 rushing, 5 receiving, 76 with a kickoff return, and 64 with a punt return.
He's led the NFL in combined yardage 3 of the last 4 years. Outside handoff, Stephen Davis, but the Raiders were ready for it.
Yeah. The Raiders were ready for it because they're bringing the blitz. They are bringing the linebackers at the snap of the ball. Watch Richard Harvey. Watch him come. I mean, this is the run blitz. Here it is. Here's Beaker. Look at that. I mean, those guys are back behind the line of scrimmage just after Steve Davis gets this ball handed off to him. And that's a quick play. I mean, that's as quick a running play as you can do. A little dive, a little quick handoff to the fullback, and these guys are even quicker.
2nd and 10 from the Raiders' 12. Brian Mitchell down to the 10-yard line. A gain of 2. Lance Johnstone made the tackle.
Johnstone did a great job on that play of running down the counter from behind, because that was a play that the Denver Broncos really hurt this defense with last week. Now watch, you're going to see the guard and the fullback pulling there, and look at Johnstone. You see that? He uses his speed and just runs that thing down from behind. If he doesn't catch him from behind, that thing is going to the end zone.
3rd down and 8 from the Raiders' 10. Green threw it behind Mitchell on that one.
I think Lance Johnstone, if he didn't hit that ball, he got right in Trent Green's face. He is doing a job on Sharp Ordonis. Here's Johnstone here. Watch him drive Sharp Ordonis right back into Trent Green's face. Look at that. Wham, drives him right back. Nope. Didn't hit it, but I think he affected his pass.
Gary Blanchard, who missed 2 field goals last week, but the Redskins have the worst field goal percentage. They've used 3 different kickers this year. This a 28-yard attempt, and it is good. So the Redskins have extended their lead to 17-7.
Well, I know that Napoleon Coffin and that Raiders run game is working for them, but we've seen so far that Jeff George's accuracy is not up to what Gruden wants it to be. His accuracy right now is lacking. You see that he doesn't have the good timing with his receivers. You see some miscues on some patterns. He's only 5 of 12 right now with 54 yards and an INT.
It should not have been an INT.
Right, that's true. But, we talked about it on the way here from the hotel. Remember, we were saying, well, why would they play Jeff George? They want to get ready for the playoffs. Why would they play him against a team like the Redskins, a team they're supposed to beat? And remember, I said to you, well, one of the reasons is you want him to get his rhythm back. Next week they have to play the Miami Dolphins, and whenever you're out, as long as a guy like Jeff George has been out, you've got to reestablish your rhythm. You've got to reestablish your chemistry with your receivers, and you want to do it against the team that you should beat. And right now, they're not beating that team.
Desmond Howard awaits the Brett Conway kickoff. Redskins with 2 kickers. Conway handles the kickoff. Blanchard the field goals and the extra points. Howard taking it out from the end zone, but he should have stayed there because he is stopped at the 16-yard line. Stephen Davis made the tackle. 2-minute warning in Oakland. Friends of Tim Green here in Oakland.
I have friends of Al Davis. I saw Al Davis, the owner of the Raiders, over there talking to this crew before the game, which I thought was great. Here's an owner who's down on the field talking to players. He went over and talked to some of those fans as well.
Raiders in their 2-minute offense with 3 wide receivers. George escapes, and it's incomplete. Intended for Terry Mickens. And a penalty marker on the play.
It's probably going to be a holding penalty against Lincoln Kennedy.
Lincoln Kennedy, a former teammate of yours with the Atlanta Falcons.
And just a colossal man.
There's no foul on the play. 2nd down.
Okay. I saw Lincoln Kennedy arguing, and maybe the official thought, hey, this guy's too big to argue with. I'm going to pick up the flag.
Well, coming up, Tim, on the Visa halftime report, AB and Terry with scores as well as highlights from around the NFL. And our Fox Sports ticker will have up to the second stats That's all coming up on the Visa halftime report. John Ritchie makes the catch that is met immediately by Chris Dishman.
Boy, Dishman really drilled him. I mean, you know, Ritchie is a bigger man than Chris Dishman. But Dishman just got up under his pads, and here's Dishman right here. They're playing a cover 2. Dishman's got the flat. He lets the receiver go, comes up, and look at that. I mean, Ritchie's a big, strong man. Dishman just lifts him off of his feet.
3rd down and 7. 3 wide receivers for the Raiders. Georgia's pass caught by Harvey Williams. Again, it was Chris Dishman, but Williams, let's see, stopped about a yard, about a half yard shy.
And he's shy because Dishman, you know, brought the beef.
And the Raiders will punt it away. Williams stopped just short. 2 big plays defensively by Dishman, who struggled this year.
Well, he has, but then he picked it up in recent weeks. I thought he struggled again last week, but Dishman is still a physical guy with physical tools despite his age.
The punt by Argus. Let's see if he has to make the tackle again on Mitchell. Terrific punt. Rolls out of bounds at the 10-yard line. Leo Aragus with a 64-yard kick.
Well, here's Kenny. Here's Dishman on the next one. Look at that. I mean, this is another big back, and Dishman just gets under his pads and knocks Harvey Williams right off the field.
And then Leo Aragus comes up with a career-best 64-yard punt.
Would you call that a big hit?
2 big hits.
Oh, I know Dishman's is a big hit. I'm just wondering if you call the punt a big hit.
Aragus took a big hit last time.
He did take a big hit.
From Brian
I guess
Mitchell.
you just call it a big hit. You can't consider punt the ball a hit.
And now the Redskins with 62 seconds to try and drive downfield. They start from their own 11.
I think this is where you want to go, to this big guy up here, Michael Westbrook.
Redskins keep it on the ground with Skip Hicks. 7-yard gain. Richard Harvey tripped him up.
Well, you'd want to go to Westbrook if you wanted to try to go to your 2-minute and get down and score.
Norv Turner seems to be content to head to the locker room leading by 10.
Why not? Yeah, I mean, when you think about the problems that the Redskins have had, I mean, it's very rare this season that they've led at halftime by 10 points.
It'll be a 35-point turnaround from last week when they trailed 31-6. They trailed by 25 at the half last week, and Hicks is stopped by Louis Riddick. And here today, they will head to the locker room leading the Raiders, the playoff hopeful Raiders, by 10, as we will catch you up on what has gone on in the NFL this afternoon. Scores and highlights on the Visa halftime report with James Brown and Terry Bradshaw. Field position, the story of this first half, as the Redskins lead it 17-7. The Visa halftime report is next after this, and a word from your local Fox station.
And enabling them to have a 17-7 lead over the Raiders.
154 combined yards for Brian Mitchell. He had 276 in a game against Arizona 3 weeks ago.
You know, the other thing, Kenny, I mean, let's face facts. Things have been going the way of the Redskins today. You know, 3 of those turnovers, one of them really shouldn't have been. And then on the one Trent Green touchdown pass to Leslie Shepard, you know, that was just an incredibly lucky play for the Redskins.
Desmond Howard from the 5. Howard across the 20 to the 25-yard line, and he was wrestled down by Malcolm Hamilton, signed this week, a first-year player out of Baylor University, making his Redskins debut. And you talked about field position. Raiders average drive start only their own 19-yard line.
Kenny, excuse me, but Don Hollis just came into the Raiders huddle. Hollis is starting the second half here for the Raiders. Jeff George only 7 of 15 with an interception in the first half.
And on the first play of the second half, Hollis handing off to Napoleon Kaufman, who gains 5. Derek Smith made the stop.
Well, I said right at the beginning of the game that John Gruden was happy to have his driver back, but he put that thing back in the bag, and he pulls out the old 7-iron, and you see why here when you look at Hollis. I mean, his numbers aren't great, but what Hollis has done is won. You know, I mean, the Raiders have been 4-1 with him in the game, and with the offense struggling in the passing game, John Gruden makes the switch at halftime.
2nd and 5, Hollis complete. Tim Brown, and he picks up a first down, a gain of 6 yards.
And this is the 7-iron. I mean, here's Hollis. Not great distance, but great accuracy. So you can make this kind of pass where Tim Brown just breaks this thing into the middle. It's a short, safe pass. Look, there's the ball right there. Quickly thrown, quick decision. That's what Hollis does.
And there's Jeff George on the sidelines, making his return today. Hollis off the play fake, nearly picked off. Ricky Dudley, the intended receiver. Leo Evans on the coverage.
And this is where you want the driver. You know, not to beat up Hollis. Hey, Hollis has won with this team, but when you get a ball that's got to go downfield deep, and Ricky Dudley was open on that play. But Hollis puts a little too much air underneath that ball and enables the Redskins to knock down that pass. You know, Jeff George, if he's on, has such power in his arm that he delivers that ball on a line. But in the first half, he wasn't delivering it.
2nd and 10, Kaufman up the middle. And the tackle made by Marcus Patton after a gain of 4 yards.
You know, Patton is a guy that has maintained his intensity and maintained his integrity. You know, in the face of a 2-9 season, a lot of times guys will start to wilt towards the end of the season. This guy, you know, Mike Nolan called him yesterday, he said he's a warrior. I mean, he just has not stopped playing hard.
Hollis on 3rd and 7, under pressure, he escapes, fires downfield, picked off, Darrell Green. Darrell Green with his first interception of the season, 45th of his career. And he returns it into Raider territory. The quarterback, Hollis, made the tackle after a return of 37 yards.
And again, that's the 7-iron. The ball's got to go downfield deep. There's way too much air underneath it. Darrell Green comes up with his 45th interception.
The 4th Raiders turnover. And for the 5th time today, Redskins start a drive in Oakland territory from the Raiders 43. Oakland shifting on the defensive line. Skip Hicks caught for a loss. Richard Harvey. And Darrell Green, who came up, as Tim mentioned, with his 45th career pick. First this season. And he is among the active leaders in the NFL, along with 2 Raiders, Eric Allen and Albert Lewis.
Eric Allen with 5 this season. Of course, he's out today. Darrell Green got that interception because of his speed. That's why he's still here. That's why he's still playing and making plays.
2nd and 12, quick drop, quick slant, off the chest, and then the fingertips of Westbrook.
You know, you complain and you moan during the week on your buddy's radio show, and then you get a little slant pattern, you're wide open, the ball is delivered perfectly. I mean, look, the receiver slips, and you don't hang on to it. You know, you got to save your complaints and saying, give me the doggone ball, until after you make these catches day in and day out consistently.
Westbrook with only 2 receptions today, none since the first quarter. 3 wide receivers on 3rd and long, and Green is taken down.
Right up the pipe, Kenny. The Raiders have found the key to Trent Green. Just let these guys unload. Just send them right up the pipe. Here comes Harvey. Here comes Beekert. Beekert drives right through Skip Hicks. and he trips up Trent Green in the pocket.
Second sack for Beekert this season, third of the game by the Raiders. Desmond Howard awaits the Matt Turk punt. Turk leading the NFL in net punting average. Howard lets it go, and it is down on the 1-yard line. A 47-yard punt by Turk Jamel Williams downfield. Raiders need to move it 99 yards.
I love lobster.
The Raiders staring at a long field. They will start from their own 1-yard line. And field position has been a story throughout today's game.
Well, we talked about Brian Mitchell coming out of halftime and how his returns have really set the Redskins up with great field position. And the Redskins kicking teams have also done an outstanding job of pinning the Raiders deep down in their own territory.
Second series at quarterback for Donald Hollis.
Not much room to penalize him with. You know.
Half the distance is what, 6 inches?
Yeah. Yeah, Darryl Green says it's not much, but we'll take it.
False start. 83 offense, half the distance to the goal. Repeat first down.
Ricky Dudley, the guilty party. So they will move the football half the distance. They do not have to move it much.
Yeah, I couldn't hear you.
Harvey Williams, the lone back. Great fake. Hollis slipped. And then got off the pass. It's incomplete. Intended for Dudley.
Hollis is going to have to get his cleats changed. There's a lot of water in that end zone. Watch him. He just rolls a little bit here to his right. Little play action pass. And just, whoop, he does a great job of getting rid of this football. Because not only does he get rid of it, he gets it close enough to one of his guys so it's not a pass intentional grounding penalty.
And the Raiders linemen must be very careful. Remember, a holding call in the end zone is a safety. And the pass by Hollis is caught by Mickens, so it gives the Raiders some breathing room, a gain of 8.
But how neat is that? I mean, how neat is Don Hollis' pass? You know, he stands up, zip, that thing is right in there, in that intermediate range. This guy can deliver the ball where it has to be. Watch it. 1, 2, 3, zip. There it is. Great accuracy with those shorter, you know, the 7-iron.
3rd and 2. And Hollis picks up the first down as he makes the connection with Tim Brown. And a penalty marker.
And he's hurt. Hollis is hurt. Kennard Lang hit him after he threw that ball. No, he says, I'm okay. Look, this epitomizes this guy. He's tough, and he's savvy. Did you see what he did on that?
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. 90 defense. 15 yards. First down.
He gave the pump fake, and then he delivered the ball. He pump fakes the receiver open. Watch it here. Watch him. The pump fake. And Kennard Lang says, geez, I mean, the guy's pumping it up and down. Look at that. I mean, he causes Kennard Lang to jump with his pump fake, and then he throws it underneath his arm.
Second personal foul called against Lang. He was called for a face mask earlier. Napoleon Kaufman is tripped up by Darryl Green after a gain of 6.
Well, one of the weaknesses of the Redskins in that run defense all year has been a wide receiver coming out, blocking a safety, and then Darryl Green or Chris Dishman have to replace that safety in the run support. And they haven't done a great job of it this season. Darryl Green, even though he makes the tackle, gives up 6 yards on the play. And now Kaufman's looking at his knee. He's had trouble with his ankle. Now it's his knee.
Pressure taken down. Chris Dishman.
Kenny, this is just aggressive play calling by Mike Nolan. You know, it's second and short, And here comes the blitz. Watch Dishman come right from the outside. A cornerback blitz. Dishman checks. It's not the run, and he runs down Hollis from behind.
Hollis gained 2 on the run, setting up a 3rd and 2 from the 38-yard line. Right back to Williams, and Hollis saw Kennard Lang coming, and he threw it away.
You see Kennard Lang look for the flag? As soon as Kennard Lang got up, he looked around for the flag.
He's already seen 2 today.
Yeah, now he comes untouched. You're going to see him from the left side of the screen. Look at that there. He comes untouched, and he gets the quarterback. Now watch him. Watch him come up. He looks around.
He did not see yellow. Aragoose from his own 25. Ryan Mitchell from the 21. Mitchell tripped up across the 35, a 15-yard return. Jermaine Williams made the stop. Redskins leading by 10.
The North.
On the sideline right now working out an injury. On this play, hurts his right knee. Well, Darrell Green comes up and gets underneath him, but you'll see right at the end here, Kaufman grabbing that right knee and had to lift off the field.
Kaufman scored the Raiders' only touchdown earlier on a 23-yard run. Redskins from their own 37. Play action pass, and then Green goes back across.
Wow, look at those
Steven
blocks.
Alexander, first down and more, and for an NFL game break. Let's head to James Brown at the Fox Network Center in Los Angeles.
Surprising happenings in Green Bay. Take a look at Coy Detmer hitting Jeff Graham on the slant route. Philadelphia has not had a wide receiver score a touchdown reception coming into today. Now they have 2. Back to Kenny, and I got it.
Thanks, JB. Hey, you know, I mean, that's the same thing that's happening here. You're taking a team that's supposed to be winning and supposed to be getting ready for the playoffs, and you've got an underdog basically kicking their tail.
Eagles finally putting some points on the board. They've been shut out 3 times this season. Green airing it out, and it's incomplete. Leslie Shepard, the intended receiver.
You know, I know we've been critical of Michael Westbrook dropping a couple passes that he should have caught, but if you're going to get downfield against the Raiders, I think he's the guy you want to go to. You know, again, on that last play, you saw that Louis Riddick had Leslie Shepard all covered up. And even on that 1 touchdown play, Shepard was well covered by Marquise Walker.
2nd and 10 from the Raiders' 47. Skip Hicks down to the 43-yard line. Louis Riddick made the stop.
You know, Kenny, I think the Redskins today have done a great job of offensive game planning, because we've seen Norv Turner run some quick runs, and then in the passing game, we've seen a real nice mixture of passes. A lot of play action, a lot of misdirections, you know, the screen passes going back to the other side of the field. They've involved Stephen Davis in the passing game today, so they've really mixed it up against this Raiders defense.
Big 3rd down and 7 play. Green fires incomplete, looking for Westbrook. Charles Woodson on the coverage.
Woodson got away with one there. Woodson had his hands all over Westbrook. That's what Norv Turner's hot about. You know, watch this here. 2 big physical guys. Now, Westbrook is well past the 5-yard. Watch Woodson right there. You know, gets his hands and had enough of a shove so that it could have been a call.
Low snap, Matt Kirk from his own 45. Howard lets it go, and it rolls into the end zone. Touchback. Raiders will start from their own 20-yard line, a 44-yard punt by Turk. Back in Oakland with the Redskins leading by 10. Raiders tell us they have nothing to report as far as a possible recurrence of an injury, or if John Gruden just decided to make the change from George to Donald Hollis here in the second half, as Harvey Williams gains 4 yards on first down.
Well, the Raiders getting back to this run game here with Harvey Williams. He has not been nearly as effective as a healthy Napoleon Kaufman. Of course, Kaufman, we showed his knee injury earlier. He's still on the sideline. So Don Hollis is going to have to step up. He's going to have to engineer a drive with the passing game if the Raiders are going to get this thing back.
2nd and 6. Hollis has the completion up to the 28-yard line. James Jett brought down by Marcus Patton. Hollis told us yesterday, Tim, I've given us chances to win, and we've won some close games.
Yeah, they have. And again, what he has is he's got that great accuracy in the intermediate passes and the shorter passes. He's tough. And he makes good decisions.
3rd and 1 for Hollis and the Raiders from their own 29-yard line, and Harvey Williams picks up the first down. Raiders move the chains, and for an NFL update, what's going on, JB?
Hey, Kenny and Tim, Green Bay trying to avoid the upset of the year. Take a look at this laser from Favre to Freeman. Yank! 33 yards to Freeman. That puts Green Bay back on top by the score of 17-13. 7:09 left in the third. Back to Kenny and Tim.
That's a driver, wasn't it? I mean, you know, you talk about players being golf clubs, and Brett Favre he's like a Big Bertha driver. Leomont Evans is the guy who's hurt, and that's a bad sign because he's a guy who was a reserve guy, and then Jesse Campbell, the starting strong safety, was hurt, and Leo has come in and done a spectacular job. He's been one of the bright spots on this Redskins 2-9 season. The coaches have been very happy with the way he's played, and he's played well. I've seen him over the past couple of weeks on film. He's been very active in the run game. Last week he came up with a big interception, and a wonderful guy, too. You know, we got a chance to talk with him yesterday. And
well, the Redskins, Tim, with 8 players on injured reserve, and Johnson and Drake, you mentioned earlier, along with Ken Harvey, all suffered knee injuries. 8 players on IR, including 4 who have started this year. Johnson, Drake, Larry Bowie, and tight end Jamie Asher, along with Harvey.
And I hate to see that, Leo Evans going off the field like that, because he really had something good going, you know, and he's a guy who wants to take some of that money that he's made, and he's helped out his mom back up in South Carolina. I mean, that's the kind of guy that he is. Here he is right here. And so you always root for a nice guy like that. Nice, quiet demeanor, plays hard. There it is right there. I mean, just gets that knee twisted up underneath Harvey Williams.
Mike Nolan, defensive coordinator, told us yesterday, in a season such as the one we are going through, there are little rewards, and Leo Evans is one of them.
Yeah, that's right. Yep, family man. He said, I got a junior I got to take care of, little Leo Mont Jr. I wonder if he'll call him Mont.
Leo told us he likes to be called Leo, and then when we asked him, what do your friends call you, he showed us a tattoo on his arm which said Mont.
Oh, he said, my friends call me Mont, you can call me Leo.
Hollis with time, and he overthrows James Jett.
And there you see Jeff George giving Jett some instruction from the sideline. You know, but Jeff George is the guy who can throw this pass. You can say what you want about him, and he started off this game a little rusty, but this ball has to be lasered in there right between the 2 coverage guys. But Don Hollis lofts it. He lofts it in there, and he's ticked off. I think he thinks Jett should have broken a little deeper.
Harvey Williams up the middle. Now the Redskins know a thing or two about Donald Hollis. He spent some time in their offseason program prior to the '97 season, along with Gus Perrott and Trent Green. But once they signed former Raider Jeff Hostetler, Hollis asked Norv Turner for his release, and he signed with the Raiders.
Yeah, and you saw his numbers there. They're really not any better than what Jeff George was doing.
3 wide receivers, 3rd down and 6. Hollis over the top. Terry Mickens, the intended receiver, and boy, did he take a hard hit from Gregory Evans.
Yeah, but Mickens drops this ball before Evans gets to him. And the Raiders receivers have done no big favors for their quarterbacks today, because that ball is thrown a little bit behind Mickens, but it's a very catchable football.
Mickens has had trouble holding on to the football today, a problem that has plagued the Raiders throughout the season. Brian Mitchell calls for a fair catch at the 27-yard line with just over 5 minutes remaining. Third quarter. Raiders trailing by 10. Check local listings. Redskins on first down. As Trent Green hands it off, Skip Hicks gains 2 yards. Redskins in control, leading by 10.
Well, I know that the Redskins have got this game under control right now, but one thing the Raiders defense has found is the answer to Trent Green. Green started off this game with a lot better efficiency than he's shown over the past couple series because of this. And there you see that the pressure that they put on Trent Green by blitzing up the middle.
Green only 1 of his last 5. Make it 2 of his last 6 as Stephen Davis pulls it in. Albert Lewis made the stop. And for Stephen Davis, his 5th reception of the game.
Yeah, and even on this play, the Raiders came with the blitz, and they put instant pressure on Trent Green.
Davis came in with only 9 catches this season. But a third down and 4. Redskins were 3 for 3 on third down. They are now 4 of 11. And great pass could not be handled by Brian Mitchell.
So the Raiders defense answering the call and playing up to the level of a playoff team. You know, you're down by 10 points. You need to get this ball back. Even if Mitchell caught it, Greg Biekert is right there to make the tackle. There's great coverage throughout the field there by the Raiders linebackers and secondary.
Desmond Howard has returned only 1 Matt Kirk punt today. End over end. And Howard elected to let it go.
Terrible.
And once again, the Raiders came deep in their own territory.
That's a terrible decision. You know, at least get in front of that baby and field it when it's rolling that way.
With the roll, a 64-yard punt by Turk.
Yeah, I mean, Desmond Howard makes a decision that he's not going to be able to catch that ball, but now he needs to turn himself into like a shortstop.
He thought it would roll into the end zone.
Right, but you can't ever think anything in this game with the shape of a football. Go get in front of that baby. You know, he knew he wasn't going to catch it, but you got to get in front of it. Now, the officials have their hats off. That means somebody went out of bounds, and if that person who went out of bounds was the first person to touch the ball, then we got a problem.
Well, the officials continue their discussion.
Ball is legally down by Washington on the 1-yard line. First down, Oakland.
So a lot of hats, a lot of bare heads, a lot of discussion, and we're right where we started.
Dorf Turner is close to where he started. Grew up 30 minutes from Oakland in Martinez, California. He has over 50 friends and family members at the game today. As a teenager, he used to attend Raiders games. This club leading 17-7. Hollis pumps it and in throws. Tim Brown was the intended receiver. Darrell Green on the coverage.
I mean, Tim Brown gets himself open here because Darrell Green slips. I mean, Green is a faster man than Tim Brown, but the ball is just not well thrown. You can see how open Tim Brown is. And it's just not a good pass deep downfield by Don Hollis.
2nd and 10 from the 2. Hollis slides out towards the 10-yard line.
The Raiders' offensive line did a nice job of picking up the blitz on that play. But the Redskins secondary had the receivers covered up so well. Watch Patton come. Watch Steve Wisniewski just eat him up. He just engulfs him. And Hollis has plenty of time, and then he's got a lane as well. But what he doesn't have is a receiver open downfield.
3rd down and 4. 3 wide receivers for the Raiders. And Hollis is taken down. He fumbled. And it's a safety.
Mark Boutte came blasting right through that line, and they got him. Boutte, a guy who's been injured and out of the lineup, back in there now. Here's Boutte right there in the center. Little twist stunt. Kennard Lang goes one way. Boutte comes around the other. Boutte strips the ball. And I'll tell you, Hollis is lucky he falls on it, because if the Redskins get it, they've got a touchdown. Here it is. Watch the little twist here. Kennard Lang goes up. Boutte wraps around. Nice pressure there by the interior of the Redskins defensive line.
Mark Boutte returning after missing the last 2 games with an ankle injury. It's the 3rd safety against the Raiders this season, and the Redskins lead is now 19-7.
Yeah, and the way Hollis is playing, you know, he's not giving the Raiders anything more than Jeff George was giving them.
George played the first half, went 7 of 15, 65 yards. And the numbers on Hollis here in the second half, 4 of 11, 25 yards.
And he's had some receivers open. When they've been open, he hasn't hit them. When he's had time, they haven't been open.
And the Redskins will get it back on the free kick. Takes a Raider bounce. James Thrash back to get it. Thrash taken down at the 39-yard line. A 14-yard return. Next week on Fox NFL Sunday, the Arizona Cardinals at 6 up, 6 down take on the New York Giants. 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific, plus other regional action. Week 14 next Sunday here on Fox. Coverage begins at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific.
You know, the thing about that Arizona game is, you know, Arizona's one of those teams that I always love to see just because of Jake Plummer. I mean, he is so exciting. He can turn a game around so single-handedly. You just got to watch him.
What a game he had against the Redskins last week. Green's pass is caught. Stephen Davis, his 6th reception of the game, and he stumbles his way to the Raiders' 32, a gain of 29 yards.
Well, the Raiders' defense took the strong safety off of Stephen Davis, and they made a mistake by doing that. Richard Harvey's got the coverage, and there he is. He bites on the play fake, and Davis just outruns him. Davis is a big fullback who just outruns Stephen Davis on this play. Watch it. A little bootleg. There it is. Trent Green rolls out. Thumps that ball off, and the Redskins are rolling again.
First down from the Raiders, 32.
Same play.
Off the play fake. Green forced to throw it away. He was being chased by Lance Johnstone.
Yeah, this time they put the strong safety right on Stephen Davis. Redskins come back with the exact same play going the other way. And this time Willie Shaw said, all right, when this happens, let's put Louis Riddick on him. Watch the bootleg. There's Stephen Davis. And instead of a linebacker, see Louis Riddick? Got him covered up completely.
Second down and 10. from the Raiders' 32-yard line. Both wide receivers split to the left. Up the middle, Skip Hicks finds a hole and is close to another. Redskins first down.
You know, if you've got a team that's running a lot of run blitzes and you can hit a quick hitting play on them, now you get into this area here and there are no linebackers to tackle you. You know, the strong safety Riddick's got to come up to make this play because the linebackers have already hit the line of scrimmage.
Hicks did move the chains, a 10-yard gain. First down from the Raiders, 22. Hicks up the middle again. Inside the 10, inside the 5, down to the 3-yard line. 19 yards for Skip Hicks.
No, the same thing, Kenny. Raiders come with the run blitz, and the Redskins burn them on it. You know, Greg Beaker, watch him come, and he commits to the line of scrimmage on this run blitz, and now, once they block it, there's no one there, and Beaker's got to try to chase it down from behind.
Redskins terrific in the red zone this year. Beaker calls timeout.
His head's spinning right now.
First timeout called by the Raiders here in the second half.
One thing the Redskins offense does a lot is a lot of shifting. They change their formation right before the snap. And so a defense like the Raiders defense has to adjust. So they have to make a lot of quick adjustments at the line of scrimmage. And so if you're coming on a blitz and the formation shifts, that blitz has to change. And the linemen have to change their responsibilities. And if everybody's not on the same page, you're going to leave a hole that Skip Hicks is going to run through.
Skip Hicks with a couple of big runs of 10 and 19 yards on his last 2 carries. And thanks in part to Skip Hicks, Redskins have had major success in the red zone this season. Here are the numbers today. The Steven Alexander fumble, 1 touchdown and 1 field goal. First and goal from the 3. Hicks tries to turn the corner and works his way down to the 2-yard line.
Yeah, this is a tough defense to try to beat to the outside. That's what Skip Hicks tries to do on this play. Tries to race to the outside, but the Raiders' speed runs him down.
And we have come to the end of the third quarter here in Oakland, with the Redskins leading the Raiders 19-7. Fox NFL Sunday continues after these words from your local Fox station. 19-7 lead for the Washington Redskins over the Oakland Raiders as we get set for the start of quarter number 4. Kenny Albert along with Tim Green. Redskins looking to win on the road for the first time this year.
Yeah, and they've taken advantage of 4 Raiders turnovers. And the Raiders defense needs to try to stop them right here.
And Trent Green hits Steven Alexander in the end zone for a touchdown.
As I said, they need to try to stop them right here, but they didn't come up with it. Yeah.
Second touchdown of the season for the rookie out of Oklahoma.
It's that little roll out there, the fake, the bootleg pass. This time, instead of going to Steven Davis, they go to Steven Alexander. Watch it here. There's the bootleg, and there's Alexander wide open in the end zone, and Trent Green drops that ball in there perfectly.
Third touchdown pass of the game for Trent Green. Carrie Blanchard adds the point after, and the Redskins have opened up a 26-7 lead over the Raiders.
They sing. And by Dr. Pepper in your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Dr. Pepper, this is the taste.
Welcome back to the Bay Area. A look at the Golden Gate Bridge. Both Bay Area teams home this weekend. 49ers host the Giants tomorrow. And Steven Alexander all smiles as he just caught a 2-yard touchdown pass from Trent Green. Brett Conway's kickoff rolls into the end zone, so the Raiders will start from their own 20-yard line. Well, coming into the game today, Raiders 3-0 against the NFC Eastern Division. Napoleon Kaufman with an 80-yard touchdown run in a 2017 victory over the New York Giants. James Jett hauled in a 75-yard touchdown pass for the Raiders' 1-point victory over the Cowboys. And rookie Charles Woodson with an interception return into the end zone as the Raiders beat the Arizona Cardinals 23-20. So coming into the game today, Tim, Oakland 3-0 against the NFC East as the catch is made by the fullback John Ritchie for a gain of 9 yards.
And those are the kind of big plays that the Raiders are going to have right now to get back into this football game.
Napoleon Kaufman, Tim, has returned for the first time since hurting his knee.
There's some confusion there in the Raiders huddle. Hollis asking, what's my personnel? What's the play? What's going on?
2nd and 1, delayed handoff to Kaufman. Has the first down and more to the 46. A gain of 17 yards.
Well, now Kaufman's back. Kaufman's healthy. His knee's good, and his ankles are good, too. He's doing the same thing to the Redskins defense. Watch him start one way and then make that little move right at the line of scrimmage. Watch it here. He starts up in, and now he makes the break to the left, and now he cuts it back to the inside all the way against the grain. That's what the Raiders have to have. They need to score, and they need to score quickly.
Mickens in motion. First down from the 45. Hollis to the near side. Ritchie unable to make the catch.
Yeah, he started to run before he caught the ball. You know, John Ritchie is a rookie, as Charles Woodson, as Mo Collins. And what happens when you're a rookie in the National Football League is, you know, you hit that wall. You go 11 games and you're figuring, all right, it's time for, you know, take a few weeks off and go to a bowl game. So you start to lose your focus and your concentration. You start to get worn out in that first NFL season.
2nd and 10. Hollis firing downfield, and it's broken up beautifully by Chris Dishman.
Wait, I don't know. I mean, that ball looked like it hit Terry Mickens. Well, Dishman had the position on Mickens. It looked to me like Mickens turned himself into a defender. Watch it here. He breaks here to the right. Dishman's got the position. Yeah. Dishman had such good coverage that Mickens had to slap that ball down, turn himself into the DB.
On 3rd and 10, Hollis steps up and then is taken down by Kennard Lang.
Outstanding pressure by the entire front four of the Washington Redskins. Look at this. Instant pressure. It's only 4 guys. It's 4 on 5. And here they come. Bang. They make him step up. And Kennard Lang just stays with him the whole way. Drives Hollis right into the turf. We got to call a timeout because Lang thought he got to get a play off after the sack.
Well, I think the Redskins thought the Raiders were going to punt, but the Raiders will go for it on 4th and 12. So the Redskins forced to call timeout early 4th quarter with a big lead. Raiders going for it on 4th and 12 from their own 48. 3 wide receivers. Hollis fires. And the Raiders pick up the first down. The catch was made by Kenny Shedd, his first reception of the season. And he gains 13 yards.
Yeah, you can say what you want about Donald Hollis's arm, but he's a clutch player.
So the Raiders pick up the first down on 4th and 12. Harvey Williams up the middle for a gain of 4. And for an NFL update, let's return to James Brown at the Fox Network Center.
Kenny and Tim, Miami keeping pace in the wild card hunt. They do it in impressive fashion here. Marino hooking up with O.J. McDuffie. 400 touchdowns by Marino, extending his own record. Let's take it back to Kenny and Tim.
Coming into the game, Dolphins One of the clubs tied with the Raiders at 7-4. Tim Brown did not make the catch.
Yeah.
Buffalo, Miami, and Oakland coming into play today, all 7-4. They would be the 3 wild card teams.
Yeah. You see Miami, though, they got behind to New Orleans, and then they come back because Dan Marino's got the big arm, and he can zip that ball downfield. And that's what John Gruden right now needs from Don Hollis. He needs him. You know, that last play, Tim Brown was wide open. He needs to get that ball into his receiver's hands.
3rd down and 6. 4 wide receivers. And the pass caught underneath. I should say Harvey Williams. And he picks up another Raider first down, a gain of 8.
Nice move by Harvey Williams, too, to get the extra yardage and pick up that first down.
So a couple of big 3rd and 4th down plays on this drive for the Raiders.
You know, one thing about Donald House, you still have to understand he still is a young, inexperienced quarterback, and he only got half the reps this week. Jeff George got the other half. So sometimes when you try to go with 2 quarterbacks, it costs both of them.
Hollis goes across the field to Napoleon Kaufman. And he stopped by Darrell Pounds, a gain of 7 yards on the play.
Boy, Hollis got stoned on that play, too. I mean, he took a blow right to the head just after he released that ball to his dump-off pass. You have to admire the guy's composure. He looks downfield. He sees nothing there. Now he knows he's going to get stoned. Watch it right here. He didn't get stoned.
Good thing for Donald. 2nd and 3. Quick drop, quick slant. Tim Brown. No catch it. No catch once again.
Oh, the ball again is underthrown.
Ball was rolled out on the other side. Incomplete pass. 3rd down.
Let's take a look at it. It's a little slant pass here. He breaks right in there. He's open. Boy, it looked like he caught it. Well, I guess it's touching the ground right there.
So it will be a 3rd and 3 for the Raiders. From the Redskins 23. John Ritchie makes the catch, but Darrell Pounds came up to stop him short of the first down marker. And the Raiders once again will go for it on 4th down. This time 4th and 1. Redskins shuffle the personnel. Good tight ends for the Raiders. Harvey Williams has the first down.
I think the Redskins only had 10 guys on the field on that play, Kenny. They shuffled in and shuffled out, and they were missing a guy. I mean, there's only 10 guys out here on the field right now. So it's pretty logical that Harvey Williams should pick up the first down in that play.
So the Raiders keep the drive alive with 2 4th down conversions. From the Redskins 17. Holland fires, touchdown, Terry Mickens. His first touchdown reception of the season.
There's the clutch play. Going for 2 points now. That's why these guys love Hollis. Now, we've seen some inaccuracy on his throws, but hey, it's money time, and here's your guy wide open in the end zone. It's not a pretty pass. I mean, that ball had duck written all over it, but hey, he gets it there, and it's a touchdown. Look at the ball wobble. Look at that thing.
And now the Raiders go for 2. Hollis, incomplete. So the Redskins lead is 26-13. Redskins with a 13-point lead, 9.5 remaining. At 7, 6 Central on Fox Sunday.
You're right. You're right. It's my favorite. I'm not a big TV guy, but when I do watch TV, it's usually the X-Files.
talk about it with us every week. And I know you'll be tuning in tonight. Brian Mitchell from the 1-yard line. And Mitchell is stopped at the 12. A terrific special teams effort. And it was Terry Mickens who caught the touchdown pass just a moment ago who made the hit on Mitchell.
And this is what the Raiders need. I mean, they need these big plays. They need things. They've got the momentum going their way.
There is a penalty marker on the field.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, taunting, number 28 of the kicking team. 15 yards, first down.
Randy Jordan called for taunting. Redskins hit with a similar call last week when Leslie Shepard spiked the ball in the end zone in the vicinity of an Arizona Cardinal player.
Here's Mickens right here, number 85. Watch him come down, works right through the blocker, makes the play right there. Beautiful tackle, 2 plays in a row. 2 big plays in a row. But the boneheaded penalty gives the Redskins a little breathing room.
Gives the Redskins 15 yards. They start from the 28. Not much running room for Skip Hicks.
I'll tell you, they're fired up right now. I mean, they're playing fired up defense.
And there's Randy Jordan, who was called for the taunting penalty.
You know, all you have to do is give your defense a sniff. You know what I mean? You just give them a little bit of hope by driving down, 5-minute, 80-yard scoring drive, and all of a sudden these guys are ready to go. They're saying, all right, hey, our offense has got something going. Let's get it back.
Under 9 minutes remaining. Redskins leading by 13. Second down and 9. Off the play action, the pass caught by Stephen Davis. First down in Raiders territory. 7th catch of the game for Davis. Marquise Walker finally brought him down, a gain of 30 yards.
Well, Trent Green beats the blitz. He's got a defensive back coming from the corner. Watch the blitz come here. He fakes the handoff. He throws right over the top of the blitz, right into Stephen Davis' arms. Stephen Davis has wreaked havoc on this Raiders defense all day long.
7 receptions, 111 yards. He had only 9 tackles on the year prior to this one.
Yeah, he's the fullback.
Skip Hicks. Down to the Raiders, 37.
You say the Raiders' defense has come to life with what their offense has done. The Redskins have got to be real proud of what their group is doing. I mean, they're trying to put the nail in the coffin here. Running the ball, hammering away, coming up with big plays. Well, don't forget, this Redskins offense is a group that scored 29 points a game over the last 4 weeks.
Second down and 5. Alexander in motion. Up the middle. For the Raiders, 34. As we approach 7 minutes remaining.
Willie Shaw right now has got to figure out a way to come up with a big play. And usually when Willie Shaw is trying to come up with a big play, he's going to do it by bringing heat. The place that he's had the most effect this game with the heat is right up the middle. You know, think about all the times that Trent Green has had to dodge and dive when Beekert and Richard Harvey have come streaming up those A-gaps.
Redskins call timeout with 6:25 remaining. In the 4th quarter, Norv Turner's club leading the Oakland Raiders 26-13. Washington Redskins with a 26-13 lead over the Oakland Raiders. Coming up tonight on Fox Except on the West Coast. Coming up next, World's Funniest, followed by The Simpsons, That 70s Show, and The X-Files. That's next, Except on the West Coast. 3rd down and 2 for the Redskins from the Raiders 34. Ryan Mitchell up the middle, picks up for Washington first down. He fumbled, but he was down. Mitchell was ruled down, much to the chagrin of the Raiders.
Well, it would have been the big play that they needed. And the Raiders built an 8-man front. Louis Riddick came up to the line of scrimmage to shut this thing down. They fill all the holes. Boy, it looked like he got that thing out of there. However, you have to remember that once his forward progress is stopped, the officials can and often do on a short yardage play blow the whistle.
So instead, the Redskins keep the clock moving. They have a new set of downs.
You know, you don't have to be down to be down. You can have the whistle blown, and that's being down as well.
Skip Hicks cuts to the outside, gains 1 yard to the Raiders 30. Greg Biekert made the stop.
Well, this is the time. I mean, if this Raiders defense is going to give their offense another shot, they got to do it now. Redskins doing a nice job chipping away at the clock, working their way downfield into field goal range.
Brent Green with 3 touchdown passes today. Skip Hicks, 71 yards on the ground, and Stephen Davis with his first career 100-yard receiving game. Green in the last 5 games, 10 touchdowns, only 1 interception. Hicks. So a third down upcoming for the Redskins as we approach 5 minutes to go.
You know, one of the things that Trent Green has been able to take advantage of today is that mixed-up Raiders secondary that we talked about. Albert Lewis is playing safety, which he's never played before. Louis Riddick is replacing Anthony Newman at strong safety, a position that Anthony Newman, from that position, really directed the Raiders secondary, because Newman was with Willie Shaw when Shaw was with the Saints, so he knows the whole system. So I think not having Anthony Newman has really had a big effect on this Raiders secondary today.
Third down and 6, and Brian Mitchell is stopped by Grady Jackson.
And not only do they stuff him and bring it to 4th down, but James Harris and Grady Jackson also really hurt the Redskins as far as their field goal range. As you said before, they've been terrible on the field goals. There's Harris, there's Jackson. Harris does a nice job of penetrating upfield into the Redskins backfield.
Gary Blanchard, who hit earlier from 28, will attempt a 47-yard field goal. But first, the Redskins call timeout. Blanchard on the season has been terrible from 40 yards and out, only 3 of 8. Overall, he's 7 of 13 on the season. So Blanchard will attempt the 47-yard field goal.
Well, Kenny, you know, playoff teams or teams that aspire to the playoffs know that you got to win the ones that you should win. And with the Redskins coming in here 2-9, the Raiders felt this was a game that they should win. Because if you look at the rest of their schedule, you see they've got some tough going. Miami and Buffalo, with whom they're in this playoff hunt, and then Kansas City, San Diego, again, teams that the Raiders, with their record, feel like they should be able to beat.
So a 47-yard field goal attempt for Gary Blanchard has the distance, and he hits.
So now the Raiders are down by 16. That's 2 touchdowns with 2 two-point conversions behind.
So Blanchard comes through. He's 2 for 2 today after he missed 2 field goals last week.
They really have to credit, Kenny, that Redskins offensive line. I mean, they did a beautiful job on that series. Again, using up a lot of the clock, getting themselves down there into field goal range, and it's an offensive line that we talked about. They've been shifted and shuffled. There's Joe Patton. I mean, he's like a rickety old house you find on some country corner. Windows falling in, just a wreck. There's Sharp Ordonis. He's playing out of position, right tackle instead of the left tackle, which he's played all year. And at the center of them all is Russ Grimm. You know, Grimm, one of the original Hogs, and a guy that I think has done an outstanding job coaching up guys having to play different positions, be in different roles. And Grimm has just done an excellent job of cobbling those guys together.
Them tonight on Fox. Coming up next, except on the West Coast, it'll be The World's Funniest, followed by The Simpsons, That 70s Show, and The X-Files. As Brett Conway kicks it off with 3:42 remaining. Redskins looking to win for the third time in the last 5 weeks. Desmond Howard tripped up at the 21-yard line by Greg Evans following a 12-yard return.
There's Russ Grimm talking with some of his Hog proteges. You're not going to get too excited because you are 2-9, but on the other side, you look at James Harris and he's got kind of that blank look. And that's what happens when you're losing or you lose to a team that you figure, hey, we'll just waltz through these guys. It didn't happen today.
Jeff George played the first half for the Raiders. Donald Hollis came on here in the second. Hollis complete. Tim Brown at the Redskins 34. Hurry up offense for the Raiders.
Now is the time where Hollis is going to be able to throw some balls downfield. He's going to find some receivers open because the Redskins defense is just going to play loose and soft.
Hollis to Brown once again to the Redskins 39.
See, they'll give them that all day long. The thing that the Redskins defense does not want to do is give up that big play. They don't want the go route going up the sideline for a quick touch.
Hollis into Redskins territory. Terry Mickens to the Washington 42-yard line, a gain of 20.
So Howie Long was talking about in the pregame, he hates this prevent type defense.
Quick drop and a quick slant caught Harvey Williams, and the clock continues to run. Williams did not get out of bounds, so the clock down to 2:15.
2 yards on the play. 2nd and 8.
2nd and 8. 3 wide receivers. Hollis fires downfield. Gains again. The intended receiver, Gregory Evans, playing for the injured Leo Evans, no relation, on the coverage.
Well, that time Hollis did get hammered.
Hollis had completed 6 in a row before that pass attempt.
Right. Well, again, I mean, you're going to get your completions now. If you're willing to throw the ball underneath, there's going to be a lot of soft spots in the zones of the defense. You know, the Redskins right now are playing the clock. They're not playing to break up passes.
And this will be the final play prior to the 2-minute warning. 4 Raider wideouts. Hollis, pump fake, throws over the top. Is it picked off? No. It hit the ground. Marcus Patton dove for it. And we have hit the 2-minute warning in Oakland with the Redskins leading by 16. Washington Redskins looking for their first road victory since last December. They've lost their last 6 away from Jack Kent Cooke Stadium. Under 2 minutes to go. Donald Hollis fires, and a pass is caught by Kenny Shedd at the Redskins 26, a gain of 14, and Hollis calls timeout. Raiders have 2 timeouts remaining. They now have 1 left with 1:46 to play.
Well, that was the nicest pass I've seen Don Hollis throw today. He zipped that thing in there. It was a pass downfield. Hit Kenny Shedd right between the numbers.
And turn your car radio to 10:50 a.m.
Tremendous job by the Redskins defense today. You talked about turnovers earlier coming into the game. Redskins had only 9 takeaways on the season, 4 today.
Yeah, 4 plus a safety when they forced Hollis into a fumble. Hollis recovered the fumble in his own end zone. The defense not only scored 2 points, but got the Redskins offense the ball right back, and Skins marched down and scored again.
Hollis looking end zone. Chris Dishman picks it off. A penalty marker. Penalty marker on the play. If it stands, it will be turnover number 5 by the Raiders.
Yeah,
but it looks like pass interference against the Redskins. So the Raiders.
Pass interference, 26 defense. First and goal on the 3.
Raiders will have it on the 3-yard line.
Well, one thing about this Raiders team, and we've talked about this all game long, and one thing John Gruden has brought is a change in attitude, an attitude where they never give up and they expect to win the close ones. Now, this one isn't particularly close. And they're going to need some real luck. They're going to have to get in, score quick, get a 2-pointer, and get an onside kick.
Hollis looking end zone, and it is caught for a touchdown by Tim Brown.
Great concentration by Tim Brown. Jamel Williams had the coverage for the Redskins, knocks the ball up, but Tim Brown just never lets his eyes leave that football. Ball's tipped up. Brown brings it down. Now, the Raiders have got to come up with a 2-point conversion.
That would pull Oakland to within 8.
This 2-point conversion is as important as the touchdown.
Hollis to the end zone, broken up. Guess who? Sean Barber, who's had a tremendous game today.
Big game today by this guy. He came up with an interception, even though it shouldn't have been. He forced the fumble by Harvey Williams earlier in the game, and now on a critical play. Again, the Redskins had to have that. They had to have that 2-point conversion. They were down by 16, so they needed 2 8-point touchdowns to get back and tie this thing.
But instead, they trail by 10. Sean Barber receiving more playing time today due to the injury suffered by Ken Harvey. And he's been outstanding for the Redskins. Rookie out of Richmond. He was the Atlantic 10 Defensive Player of the Year last season.
Well, no doubt he had a big day, too. But let's face it, I mean, things have gone the Redskins' way. You know, it's almost as if a whole season's worth of luck came back to him today.
Redskins were called for an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. Chris Dishman was called for the penalty, their third 15-yarder, so the Raiders will kick it off from the 45-yard line. Greg Davis will handle this one. Aragoose handles the regular kickoffs. Should the Raiders recover, they would have terrific field position. 9 Raiders lined up to the right of Davis. Bounces up, and it looks like Albert Connell. Redskins have a hands team out, and they recover. Darrell Green there as well.
Well, it was a nice kick by Greg Davis. I mean, the ball was up and it was loose, but really, the way the game has gone today, what happened is exactly what you would expect to happen, and that is this ball bounces right into Connell's hands. Look at that. The ball is fumbled, and it's loose and out. And there's Raiders everywhere, and there's only one guy, Albert Connell, who can get it on the Redskins. See that? Right through the guy's hands, and now this thing's loose. I mean, Beaker gets a hand on it, pops it up, and it goes right in to Connell's hands.
So with 1:33 remaining, the Redskins take over. Raiders have 1 timeout. They can stop the clock once, but the Redskins will be able to run it out. And the Raiders do call a quick timeout with 1:29 to go. Tremendous job, as always, by our entire crew today. Our producer, P.T. Navarro, director, Peter Bleckner. The pregame show produced by Scott Ackerson, directed by Bob Levy. Our technical producer, Kevin McRoby, associate director, Larry Lancaster. Our broadcast associate today is Robert Slosby. The senior producer of Fox Sports is Bill Brown. The executive producers of Fox Sports, Ed Gorin and David Hill. Crunching the numbers for us here in Oakland, Eric Merlis, with Mark Berryhill, Mike Eldridge, and Mark Cole. And thanks also to Steve Baldwin, Jay Clark, Mike Adress, and Gene Matthews, our entire Fox crew here in Oakland. Did we get everybody?
I think you got a lot of them. I know you got the guys back in Washington who were out there weathering the elements.
Tremendous first half for Brian Mitchell. Opened the game with a 57-yard kickoff return. Coming up tonight on Fox. Except on the West Coast, following football, World's Funniest at 7. The Simpsons, That 70s Show, and the X-Files. Redskins have never won in Oakland. They will today. Raiders have not lost 2 in a row this season. They will today.
We talked, Kenny, right in the beginning of this game about what Trent Green has done with Norv Turner's offense. He's learned it, and over the last 4 weeks, he's been spectacular. 10 touchdowns, only 1 interception. And then over this week, making it 5. 29 points a game coming into this game, 29 points now. And their first road victory since 1997 for the Washington Redskins and Norv Turner.
They had lost 6 in a row since then. As the time winds down, Redskins 3-9. They will host San Diego next week. Raiders drop to 7-5. They will host the Miami Dolphins. So the Washington Redskins on the road force 4 turnovers. They take a penalty right here as the play clock winds down.
Well, I'll tell you what's a mystery to me, though, and it will probably remain a mystery for me because we're not getting the information from the Raiders, but you have to wonder, you know, what they were doing with Jeff George. And I know he struggled a little bit in the first half, but if the idea was to get him back and get him into a rhythm today, unless he was hurt again or re-injured that groin, you have to wonder why it was that they pulled him out of the game and replaced him with Don Hollis. I know you're wondering.
We all are wondering. As Skip Hicks takes the handoff, and that does it. On the final play of the game, the Redskins have defeated the Raiders 29-19. We'll be right back.
Because of our passion for